again, thanks for joining us, sticking around. We have some awesome matches for you tonight. To start, we have Khell against Hockey Boys for Hero Series Teal. That's Khell of AskHS against Hockey Boys of DadLegend. We have their bands already, actually. We're going to jump right in. I usually like to make a chart for this just to talk about matchups, but it does look like actually it's going to be a full mirror. So they have Paladin, Priest, and Shaman both with the Warrior bands each. So yeah, we're gonna see a nice Paladin, Priest, and Shaman mirror. What are you thinking of these classes, these brings? What do you think
I think
these
these
could
are
be?
all strong classes. All of them are very flexible. I think we're going to see Quest, Shaman, and combo. But I'm not sure about the Paladin. Paladin can go multiple. Wrath Paladin. I've also seen Warlock Paladins. I think it might come down to if they play evenly on Priest, Shaman. I think it might come down to what the Paladin is. Paladin did.
Yeah, I think those are probably good reads. I think combo priest is just the priest to bring. Obviously, there is that weird quest priest, the like taunt whatever quest priest that people are running. I don't think it's very good, especially with the warrior ban. I don't see that coming out. So I think it's just gonna be combo priest, and then paladin. There are a couple of good options depending on what you expect. Um, there's Holy Wrath, there's Quest, there's Highlander Paladin's actually not bad. So definitely options there depending on what they're trying to target. And then the Shaman, I agree, Quest Shaman is probably the most likely, although Highlander Shaman has, if they're expecting the Warrior Band and want a control deck, is actually not bad. Or even just like some sort of aggro, maybe Murloc or Overload Shaman. Maybe they're trying to just smork. So flexibility in all those classes, depending on what they predict the other person to bring. I think that priest is maybe where they need to find something to beat that because it can just win with just the
All right,
right high roll. So
match has
um,
started.
there we go. So we are jumping right in. Who are we specking first?
Hockey Boys will be on bottom.
Okay.
Khell will be on top. I don't know if Khell has a spectator. Now we can. Uh,
All right. So we are jumping right in. And we're actually doing the Shaman Mirror to start.
it does not look like either one went with Quest.
Yep. So I do think Quest can be bullied a little bit, and if you're banning certain classes or expect to see certain classes, it might not be optimal. Decided to bring the Murloc Shaman on Kell's side. It's a really powerful bring, but it looks like this is maybe Highlander Shaman. So far, we've only seen one of each, so this could actually be the Highlander Shaman that I was alluding to. The Whirlwind Tempest is interesting. Did he get that off of something, or is that natural in his deck? I know I jumped in a little bit late. That does appear to be natural. So,
Might be.
really interesting bring there for Hockey Boys. Really good Earth Shock as well. Okay, so this is not Highlander. We do see a second Earth Shock. So,
Some sort of
just gonna be some sort of control.
combo-y deck, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, control combo. Maybe some sort of token with some control tools. Definitely a homebrew here. And then just a pretty standard Murloc Shaman. I've seen a lot of people running the Siamat. They run the 3/4 that costs 0 half of the time, especially when you have a full board of Murlocs. What's that one called? I forget. That you mutate. That's like an 8 cost, but ends up being like 0 or 1. That Quest Shaman runs.
Oh, you're talking about. Oh man, I'm gonna bring. Not working. Quest Shaman runs a Giggling Inventor. I've won that. So, but what are you
Um,
referring
I'm
to?
I'm referring to. I will look it up right now. The Mogu Flesh Shaper.
Oh yes,
That's what
there
they
you go.
run. So they run Flesh Shaper with Mutate in this list that Khell's running. At least the list I've seen. And the Siamat. It gives you sort of a top end, but also some sort of high roll potential beyond just your Murlocs. Both these schemes are going to be really important. They are stacking up, so he's going to be able to clear most of this board here.
Not, I'm not sure about playing that opinion. I'd be worried about. I mean, can't really tell what very homebrew deck kind of cards are not played very often. Have caster vision. I think maybe it was much of a board extension. Doesn't really have a refill.
Yeah, that was an overextension a little bit. When you're seeing all these control tools, I know he was trying to get ahead of him, but as far as like maybe he was going all in, trying to make sure he close it out before he gets too many tools. But I think actually Hockey Boys has turned the tides here at 14 health, and Kells is running out of stuff.
And
Uh,
this is going to be difficult when he sees another earthquake or
yeah, yeah, just this scheme will do it. The earthquake will do it. Depends what he values more.
I'd probably go with the
Um,
scheme over shock earthquake because earthquake can handle with like death rattles and
Death
stuff.
rattles. Yeah, I think I agree with you there. Maybe he was just didn't have another play for the mana. Just wanted to utilize the mana a little better, and the Hag of the Scheme still gets bigger and bigger if he's expecting maybe some sort of high roll with those Flesh Shapers and a Mutate. Maybe something he can't deal with right now. So maybe hoping to juice that Hag of the Scheme a little bit.
Wonder if this deck
Uh,
runs Wind Fury and he plays uh he plays this Whirlwind Tempest Ancestral Spirits it hopes
yeah,
that it sticks and then has plays some sort of Leroy.
I think that's exactly what is going to happen. I think that's what this. Wouldn't be surprised to see Dollmaster Dorian in here too. We haven't really seen minions besides these, so
No,
I could see this as like a control deck with all the control tools that Shaman has, and then just
there we go.
yeah, there's the Wind Fury. And I could see Dollmaster Dorian in here just to pick up a bunch of them, and especially that Whirlwind Tempest. Once you have Leroy, and you just kind of go crazy. You get Faceless and the Tempest, and you go off. So uh, we do see both those Flesh Shapers right now. Those are normally high rolls, but when you have Angler in your hand and you want to just cycle a ton of Murlocs, not as ideal to top deck those. But
That's game
I
over.
think, yeah, that's going to be Mega
30,
Wind Fury
30
on that,
damage.
and he gets to yeah, that's crazy. The Mega Wind Fury on that is 12, 24. That is 30 damage in one turn. That is some spice from Hockey Boys. I would not expect anything less. People have been trying to make Whirlwind Tempest work for a while. I don't know that this is the optimal build, but it worked out. It definitely worked out there. I was not the shaman I was expecting, and we'll see if he can do it again. Now that the surprise is gone,
Yeah.
let's see what Khell brings. Maybe he has something to beat this. Maybe I mean, it's going to be tough. It has a lot of control tools, especially if it gets that Spirit of the Frog to cycle and get the rest of the tools. Um, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough
And
for him to come back.
Hockey Boys had a lot of his board removal early. Scheme 7 man 7
The Earthquake, yeah. And
earthquake.
here's
Yeah.
the Geppetto I was talking about that I expected to be in the list. So Kel says, I'm just going to high roll with Priest and dodge your hexes and stuff and just get there. We'll see if it works out. Definitely has a lot of potential with the priest to high roll, but he doesn't have a one drop, so a little bit slower. I don't know about coining out this
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Tolvir.
Yeah. What are you gonna do on turn 2? That's
Yeah, I mean maybe he's gonna go for just super hyper aggressive, try to hit him for 6 with the heal inner fire, but I think just wait it out a little bit longer. He does have the Amet, so if he does opt to hex Tolvir, the Amet should potentially survive. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't want to, you know, um, make sure they get the coin out the Emmet. But yeah, this is what I was talking about. He's going aggressive. He's going for the 6 damage. Maybe trying to bait out that first hex here, because he's going to draw it with this Haunting Visions.
And I'm okay with this. Oh, he got a Plague of Murlocs. That's
Plague of Murlocs is going to throw a wrench in those plans, though. I think he was going for that. I mean, when you see the frog out there, he's going to be able to cycle. So yeah, silencing that I think makes a lot of sense. The only other big silence target might be the Mega Wind Fury. So yeah, this is exactly what this deck wants. It wants a cheap Leroy. It wants to Geppetto out the rest of the stuff. You just need them as combo pieces, and that's it. So,
wouldn't you buff the Amet there, not the
yeah, I think I would definitely buff the Amet there. It still gives you the 1/7 because the buff comes after, but it makes your Amet a little bit stickier. We do have the Plague of Murlocs that's just gonna, I think, seal this game actually. These are a lot of things you don't want to res with your Psychopomps, which is probably the best way for him to come back. And
These
now
are
it looks
all
like
low
Khell's
health
playing
minions.
Murlocs again.
And these are all low health minions, so you can't even get.
He's not completely out of this game. He does have the Bwansamdi to draw the rest of his 1-drops. He's still got another sidekick, another cleric, and 2 of the Light Wardens, I believe. So he's going to draw a lot of his deck here, put a big minion on the board, and make sure he gets to his combo pieces sooner here, which if he leaves 1 minion up, it could be the end here for Hockey Boys. So it's not over, but it's definitely not looking great here for Khell.
He has his brew. He's gonna be able to heal up here.
Yeah. If he does find some
Khell
combo pieces here,
is that
it could be lethal if he finds Topsy or
I'd probably play
if
both
he
of these.
finds Topsy or the second Inner Fire. This could be the game. So let's see what he gets here. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, that is so close. So very close here. I think he just has to stick it out and hope that there's no clear, but we do see the Earthquake is going to get rid of most of these. And actually, he's going for this, and
this is lethal.
yeah, it's just lethal again. He got 24 from the Leroys and the 6 damage from the Geppetto. Wow, such a close game. Like, there's 3 cards I believe in that deck. If he runs 2 Topsies, he might only run 1 though. So there's 2 deck cards in Khell's deck that would have been the game.
Yep.
But did not find them, unfortunately, even with all of those draws. So coming down a little bit to the draw there, but crazy how powerful this priest is. Like, it felt like he was out as soon as that board got, Plague of Murlocs. Like, it felt like it was over, but he's still, just that 7/7 Bwansamdi, just living the next turn and
anything with lots
threatening.
of health is gonna cause a threat there. That priest deck is it's kind of one of those things when you're playing against it. You want to remove everything.
Everything.
Yeah, you can't have anything on the board.
Yeah, reduce the health of everything as much as you can. Hope they don't have the circle to heal it back up. Like, even if you can't kill something, you're just trying to reduce the health. So, not looking good for Khell here, but maybe this is the deck that can do it. It looks like he went Holy Wrath, so definitely.
I don't know. I'm interested to see how this plays out because Hockey Boys' plan is to basically OTK you, and we've seen that he can OTK you from full health. So we gotta see how this works with Khell. Is he gonna be able to save off the full 30 OTK from Hockey Boys? Because Hockey Boys OTK'd him last game without the Mega Wind Fury.
Yeah, he doesn't even need it if he just gets that. The cheapened Leroy. He had like a cheap Leroy there. He had the faceless from the cheap faceless from the Geppetto. So If you manage to get those things, you don't even need to have that Tempest stick. And here it is, the man of the hour. We do have the frog again on 3. This has been the most
Wins.
powerful, like just so powerful. I think it might be determining these games. Like the Spirit of the Frog is so powerful in these matchups, especially when you're fighting that aggression. We saw, you know, game 2, he nearly lost even with the frog. Like, one card different in that draw there for Cal would have been the end. But able to survive here, able to cycle, just get to your pieces, your combo pieces, survive. That's the name of the game here for hockey.
And I think Khell is really playing okay. I mean, I don't think he made some
Yeah.
small minor kind of thing there, but none of his plays have been like game ending. I think just Hockey Boys, everything on for
Hmm.
him every turn, every ad he would. But what I credit to Hockey Boys is he saw it. He saw that lethal. I don't know the deck, so I didn't even see it when he was doing it. I was like, what is he doing? And he saw the lethal.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that comes with piloting this deck a little bit. Obviously, it's his own little home brew, so he knows what to look for.
I think
Um,
Kel recognizes that he's not really going to matter too much in this matchup for
mhm.
him because he's just
Yeah.
going to OTK him. So I think drawing cards, getting deck thinned out as fast as possible. Now the funny thing is this shaman is thinning out his deck faster than Kel is. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's all this frog that we were talking about earlier. This Spirit of the Frog is just so powerful in a deck like this, where he's just running so many spells. It's all spells. It's all
and I
spells, and then top end minions.
and I'm
Like
not
that's it.
100% sure why Kel's holding on to this consecrate. He doesn't play any minions. So I think this is fine too. But I think that probably could have been dealt with
Hmm.
earlier turns. I don't think you need
Yeah,
to hold
no,
on to consecrate that. If he's
I
not
agree with
playing
you there.
small minions at all, I think it's actually kind of a dead card now.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like it's only gonna be useful maybe to combo with like equality and stuff, but you're probably dead before you can even equality those big minions. The only thing that maybe is this Tempest with like a ancient spirit. Maybe you can kill the first. Yeah, he's gonna Eureka one down already. Like
Yeah.
it, you're seeing threat after threat, and you're using some interesting removal here.
Well, this thing has to die here. I mean, you got to be worried that there could have Wind. I think he has lethal if he doesn't kill it. You just Wind Fury it and then double Rockbiter it. Then I think just win, right?
Oh, does that work on the Tempest itself? That's actually interesting. I think you're right. So he recognizing that, saying, "I have to kill this," and he manages to here, but it's another turn away. He can play another one that has to be dealt with. So maybe he's gonna have to prepare a board here that can deal with it a little bit better.
I think he went
Uh,
ahead and played the Wild Pyromancer because he wasn't sure if he would be able to kill it, so he made
yeah,
sure that he can look funky, clunky, but it was to try to maximize that. Um, Crystology is
absolutely.
kind of sitting in there. I don't know if maybe he just draws one cards.
I think he was just his hand was pretty full. He does have the timeout here though, which is going to be significant if he sees this drop down. He'll have 2 turns now to
He's
potentially
gonna
deal
get
with it.
milled here, but I think the only thing that matters here is if he
Is
last
the Holy Wrath
Holy Wrath
number
gets
2.
milled.
Yeah.
He's gonna draw two here.
That's not it.
That's not
That's
it
not
either.
it.
So
I
this
mean that
act. We'll see this draw here.
yeah, that true
Okay.
silver it might also be kind of significant actually cuz
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be able to deal that damage here.
Zephyrus
Uh,
really does help out here, though. I'd probably get this Assassin Blade, to be honest with
yeah, I think I agree with you there. I think you need to push some damage to the face with your last Holy Wrath. That
you.
Assassin's
I don't
Blade
know.
might just be what you need.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling like you need to figure out a way to get some face damage here.
Hmm.
You have a consecrate, but you got to remember he also has heal.
So
I'm actually
it
not a.
does look like this board is going to live. So if he's able to, he might have to, if he draws this Holy Wrath, he might have to just go for it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's really soon. But his Servala is at 8 mana, so he does have to
Mhm.
reduce.
Yeah, and he does
I
have
probably
timeouts to slow things down, but he and also he could cycle it in right now if he wants. I don't think he needs to
yeah.
do that.
I think
Um,
I think I would consecrate here or something. I'd play one of these
yeah,
spells.
yeah. I think even the Pyro Consecrate wouldn't have been bad, but I guess this thing has the Ancestral Spirit, so it's always living. But
At, and at some point you gotta tell yourself, once you get that Holy Wrath, you're gonna
mhm.
go all in because you know he runs witches, gives above
Yeah, I think you
30.
have to kill him. You have to kill him in one turn for sure.
So this
Um,
assessment from soon, or is he gonna wait? I think you risk when you wait. I really like. I think I don't know. I feel like on this last turn it would have been better to just double consecrate. Maybe consecrate, drop a pyro, or pyro,
mhm.
drop a consecrate. Still could have played a timeout.
This is actually not the worst situation here. I think he might have to rip it and just go for it.
Yep.
Oh, he does have a second True Silver. That's not something you see that often, so
Okay.
he actually might be able to go over the top with the damage. But
This
I
which
think
is
you might have to go for it. The
oh he's
one out of
gonna go for it.
four, because
It's actually gonna
he's got
be
low
more
cards.
than
Yeah,
that.
two out of five
Yeah, I
here.
I like this play. He recognizes that he's gonna.
I think you should be attacking first here just because you don't know what you're going to hit, and I think you want to push the damage if you
And
can.
he got
He
it
does
though.
hit it though, so manages to get that 2 out of 5. I think really well recognized
Wow.
there by Khell. Um, so still in this Holy Wrath Paladin. The two True Silvers could have come down to it, but he managed to get there before needing to worry about it. Um, maybe
Uh,
Khell being or maybe Hockey being a little greedy there
yeah.
on the heals, maybe waiting too long. I think he needed to make sure he doesn't die from something like that. I think he had both Witch's Brews, so using one there to make sure you're at 30 so he can't do that. I guess he had the board anyway, so he could have attacked first. I think he had 5 damage exactly with the pyro and the 1/1 and the Kangor. So I think he had the 30 anyway. So maybe that makes sense there. But um,
Yeah. I think I like Kell's. He lock is low. I think you're right with Hockey
mhm,
Boys in that. I think with those kind of combo-y control decks, I think
mhm.
one of the things that players understand, and I think Hockey Boy understands, that to
Interesting.
know you need to know when you're going to be going all in. You need to know when to use your control tools. I think should have been. I think obviously he should have played it, but you don't know if he's gonna when is he gonna go all in.
Hmm.
Because Cal could have easily ripped not ripped the 25 there.
Yeah,
And
yeah, no, absolutely. And that would have been the game as well. One thing I do want to say on Hockey Boys' side is he did not draw any of those minions. They were all like bottom 5 besides the Tempest.
yes,
Which is a little unfortunate. Like obviously he's cycling spells specifically with the frog, but to not draw any minions when he's actually drawing cards, a little funny.
coin Cal. Go ahead and just
Yes.
draw a card, kill it.
Yeah, some interesting tech here for Hockey Boys with the Shadow Madness. That's something that I don't think Kell's going to be looking out for. So maybe, he'll find some sort of cheeky lethal. If he gets to push a little bit of damage here, maybe like an Acolyte or something on the board, he can just Shadow Madness and buff up and get lethal that way as well.
This is
So,
this is really good because I think 2 mana Holy Wrath double it's off by 1 mana. I think if you're able to pull
yeah.
their Holy Wrath, you could play both of them. I've seen GM can get a really cheap Holy Wrath, like put both Shirvallas in your.
Hmm. In double Holy Wrath for 50, yeah.
If I'm a little stuttering here, I'm kind of tired. It's been a long day.
Yeah, no problem. Uh, Definitely like turning the tides here, Cal. Able to find that win here was really, really big.
And I think he recognizes again, just like in the other matchup, healing in this doesn't really matter too much. I
Hmm.
mean, he's just gonna OTK you from Mind Spirit Fire.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely you can get some healing, but because they don't always hit the 30, but it'll come down to being like 25, 24, 28 damage, stuff like that. So um, things you definitely want to have some heals, but you don't need to be saving all of them
Do
for sure.
How do you feel about an Acolyte of Pain play here? Play Acolyte of Pain in like a Wild Pyro or something. Draws.
Um, Definitely some potential there. I think there was also, yeah, so he's going to tank this a little bit, but able to heal up at least 2 here, and then maybe continue with this Kangor. So I think
That was
definitely an Acolyte play is not a bad call, especially when you've drawn both Bankers, Shirvala,
yeah.
and a Holy Wrath. You don't mind overdrawing too much. Might be
Not,
time to start overdrawing.
yeah, and we just saw Hockey Boys discard a very important combo card there, Fire. So
Yeah.
still got one more in his deck and probably runs the 0 mana version.
Hmm. The topsy turvy, yeah.
Topsy turvy.
So definitely still has options, and you often it only comes down to drawing one of them in this matchup. So not the end of the world for hockey, but definitely reduces the chances of him finding.
Kind of interesting here.
Yeah.
Really getting through a lot of his deck. Wonder, okay, go face there or do you kill the cleric? And I don't know. I think face damage is kind of important matchup.
I think as long as they're below 25 or 25 or below, then you're okay. He's still got True Silver in the deck as well to push. So like really 29 is the number.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was there's some merit to trading there.
I think you're just afraid of dying. Um, there's always a chance with this deck, and he's cycling a lot already right now. Like, one of these lives. I know. I don't know if we've seen like an equality here yet. I don't know. There must be an equality. There's definitely a shrink ray in the deck, but not in the hand yet. So if he doesn't find one here to remove this board, this is very threatening. So I think really having to find it, I honestly would have prismatic lensed and hope to draw it there and combo it, because if you do not find it, you are at a big risk here. He does have timeout to take another turn to try to find it. So
That 10
uh, the lens. Oh, you're absolutely right. Yeah, he was at 10 cards.
timeout is
I think you
probably.
have to.
I think you probably timeout. Got two.
Yeah.
All right, I'd probably.
Subdue that one, sure. And we do also see Hockey is back at 10 cards. He could mill that other inner fire here. Managed to dodge that, but still at risk here.
I don't think Hockey's going all in yet because he has not seen a shrink ray yet. So you
Hmm.
don't know if Khell has it or not.
Yeah, we
Interesting.
haven't seen it yet.
Really? Oh wow. I'm gonna draw 3 here.
Yeah, he's gonna be full again.
There's his other inner
There
fire.
it is.
I don't know. I think I might have liked the Psycho Pump there over that, simply because it gets a sticky minion on the board. Could then heal up the
Um,
next turn.
yeah, I think I agree with that. I think a big factor here is he might be going for double Psychopomp. He's still got one in the deck here. So Psychopomp this turn to follow this up, really powerful. Or even just the Amet Psychopomp, very sticky. I think that's probably what he's going to do here. He can even Yeah, just divine. Go in on the divine spirits. He just saw the shrink ray. Use one of them here. He still could have equality, so a little bit scary. He doesn't have it right now. It's I think a 1 out of 5 in the deck, but he's used a pyro and double consecrate, so he's gonna have to find equality and the other
Oh,
pyro.
okay.
Obviously, if they're at 1 health, it's not
Because
the
you
end of
could
the world.
actually steal his.
Twisting Nether here
Twisting Nether might be it. You could
is
actually
gonna,
steal the thing, but then you too big.
yeah. So it's gonna come down to this Psychopomp here.
Wow, that's.
He has another timeout. Um, yeah.
I'm if I'm Hockey Boys, yeah, I got to start thinking about going killing face here too, trying to get yourself above 25, so you at least
Hmm.
earn. Now he is fatigued now, so he's
Yeah,
gonna
he's
take
fatiguing, so
advantage.
he's always gonna die to 1. Um, so this should draw the equality, I believe. Or oh, shrink ray number 2.
I think I would
Uh,
just timeout here would be better.
yeah. All right, so it's just gonna come down to this. I think actually Khell has it locked up
Gonna
because
shrink ray this next
he
turn,
can
and
just yeah, he can just shrink ray and then he can shrink ray, even run the
actually I think he just
flashlight. I think it's just fine.
heals. Just heal yourself, and you can do the combo. Play the flash of light and heal yourself. Combo.
Oh yeah, you can
No,
double.
no, Cal, what are you doing? He
He's
could.
he, he'll yeah, he should have healed himself first. Oh boy. I
Yeah, I
don't
don't know.
know
This
about
is.
this. This is he could lose off of that. Okay,
Yeah,
he
there you
hits
go.
it. But that was a 1 out of 3 to lose the game,
Yeah,
I think.
well, and you just all you got to do is play the flash of light, and then you
Play the
guarantee
flash of
yourself
light first.
win.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
never punish.
A little bit of a misplay there. We've seen a couple of small things, but it's working out okay. I think like game 1 we saw maybe overextending with the Murlocs. Game 2 a couple of overdraws and some awkward stuff, but now we've got potentially the mirror. It does look like it's the mirror, so who can draw faster?
Well, definitely keeping Christology in your opening hand. I'd probably get rid of um if I was Kel, I'd probably get rid of the other three, and if I'm Hockey
Yeah,
Boys, I probably just keep Flash of Light maybe. I actually keep. I don't know about keeping Holy Wrath though.
keeping everything. I don't agree with that. You really want to be able to
Yeah,
cycle. Prismatic Lens will help you do that, but double Christology for Kel is going to put him
way ahead.
at a big advantage here. He's drawing his cycle cards. He's cycling.
And there might be some merit to coin. Okay, yeah, maybe not. Not. I think holding onto it's fine. I think the
Yeah,
thing about Christology, I mean, the thing about Christology is that it draws you draw. So it's like a snowbally sort of draw deck.
yep.
And one
That's
thing I was
exactly what I was saying. Yeah.
and one thing that I was watching what's Zalay talk about. He was doing a stream on one of his streams, and he was talking about how you always go for the good stuff. Never go for it's okay kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Don't go for the middle of the ground. Maybe that might benefit me kind of stuff. You
Mhm.
always want to go for the good stuff. So I think I definitely might have kept the flashlight. I might, but I think I would have thrown away the other two for sure. But we see that now he does get the draw in his hand.
Mhm.
So
So not out of this, but definitely behind. This soup vendor will help a little bit if he takes some damage. So probably gonna hope that some of this damage does happen to him, so he can use this flash of light and stuff like that to cycle a little bit more. Something we didn't see in Kell's deck. So maybe a little advantage there to Hockey with a little bit more cycle, but um,
and I
it
see
actually he actually managed to even it up here in card number.
yes,
S-
real quick. I
mhm.
think I'm wondering if hockey's version doesn't run the Zephyrs because he's running the Soup Vendor instead. I'm interested to see
Um,
if that's doing or if he does run Zephyrs with that also.
yeah, I don't know if Zephyrus is the cut for the Soup Vendor necessarily. I think there's other options. Like Elven Archer sometimes isn't that great into the current meta. Like, I think there's other options that might go first. It's still a card that you draw with Crystology, right? So, getting rid of one of those Crystology cards makes more sense to me than actually getting rid of Zephyrus. But we'll see. So interesting choice here. Just has to play a card, or he's going to overdraw. So kind of forced into that situation. And now Hockey Boy is actually finding himself, I think, in a pretty comfortable position.
What is he holding the for?
I'm not sure. I really, I mean, that's not going to come in. It's not going to do
I feel
anything.
like
I think just
Zephyrs
play.
is more important than a subdue. I mean, there's some reasons to hold on to subdue, maybe like a pyro activator, but I feel like Zephyrs is just too important of a card to throw away.
Yeah, I don't think Subdue does much in this matchup. We also see Ziliax on the side of Hockey Boys. I guess a little bit of an
We're gonna
anti-aggro
draw here too as
potential
well.
tool here. Yep. Yep, and now he's one card behind after that start, which is pretty
Yes.
remarkable. And he has the prismatic lens to maybe even things out a little bit.
Yeah, I think here you got to start thinking about clearing the board. It's possible for a like a wild power is 5 mana. Yeah, I think this is fine. Subdue did come in handy here. Now, if
Yeah,
you're hockey, you probably want to get this prismatic lens off pretty.
yeah. Before you run out of minions to actually draw, he
Soon.
still has Shrival in the deck, so maybe he's scared of doing that. But he's got both Holy Wrath, so I don't really care about another spell uh, not being able to be played. So I kind of like seeing the prismatic lens. I think he's just afraid that he's not going to be able to play anything else with it.
He could,
But he can just consecrate with the
but he's gonna.
okay, interesting. I
That
don't
is
agree
very
with
interesting.
that.
Yeah. Khell
Like,
did play his heals early, so I don't think he has any heals right now. Um, oh, the only heal he
yeah,
has is Shrivala. There she is.
yeah.
Khell.
I
Khell.
suppose that's true. He played both Flash of Lights
I'd
and
probably
and
throw away a
the
shrink right here. There you go.
yeah
So
and the Kangor. So you are right there. Um,
so the only healing he has now is Shrivala. So I think. So he does run Zephyrs in his deck. So it is a different version.
so I think it is the Elven Archer. Like I was saying earlier, that is probably taken out for the Soup Vendor. That or Acolyte, but we did see Acolyte already, so I think those are the options there. I think it makes sense. The Elven Archer doesn't really give you more draw, whereas the Soup Vendor sometimes does. The Elven Archer can activate some of your other draw, like the Acolyte, but you have to combo it. It's a little bit more awkward than the Soup Vendor combos that you kind of naturally want to do anyway.
I think this
Um,
is going to come down to who timeouts first. See how this is going to work out here. I think Khell has the advantage if he can find a way to heal himself and get the combo off.
well, this Gorehowl is going to be a little awkward to deal with. That just makes sure that he can get the combo off. He has no weapon removal. He's already used his Zephyrus, so his Zephyrus is never going to be able to take out this Gorehowl. I think he's just going for it here, I guess, to go for 25 damage and just hope like, oh, he has.
Oh,
Oh,
he has
he knew
lethal.
he knew he knew
He
the
has
banker
lethal.
was there, so he has
Wow.
lethal. Yep, that was really
What
well
a
played by
well
Khell.
played Khell.
Exact lethal
Coming
there,
back
knowing the
from
last
behind
card. Amazing.
and coming back from behind to
Hmm.
reverse sweep with Holy Wrath Paladin.
Wow, what a series. We thought that Shaman was going to take it all, but Khell figured out what it was, how to play against it, and managing to find that sweep with the Holy Wrath Paladin. Um, taking some risks, winning that 2 out of 5 in game 2, I believe, or was it game 1 of the of his Paladin? I think it was the first one against the Shaman, right, where he won that 2 out of 5.
Yes.
Um, and then just playing pretty clean games here throughout.
And,
Couple of small errors,
and
but
recognizing that lethal at the very end there,
mhm.
trying to be what do you call, as you say, unbiased. He is on my team, and the AskHS is my team, so I'm trying not to show too much there. Um, I don't think we're gonna have enough time for an interview though, because we need to get into our next match.
Mhm.
I don't know if you want to keep talking about it a little bit. I'm gonna talk to Pond and our next match, Pond and Penny's going started.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Um, yeah. I mean, both all those games were pretty cool. I love seeing Hockey Boys kind of bringing in some interesting tech. We saw the Shadow Madness in the Priest, and we saw obviously that crazy Shaman deck, the Mega Wind Fury. Getting him 2 of those wins right off the bat, and almost getting that third one, just
Yeah.
not finding those minions in that last game against the Paladin, where it's the most crucial to find those before they can combo you, and then losing that 2 out of 5, um, or in his case 3 out of 5 to win the game. Uh, and then just the reverse sweep from Khell, very very well played. Crazy games.
I think both sides had some downs to their games. Kell's Priest
Hmm.
could have won had he just drawn one of those cards. I think Pond is telling me that he's gonna and he's getting ready, his kids ready or something. So he can actually probably do Kell.
Awesome. Okay,
Let me
so
see. Let
yeah,
me
hit him up.
Kell up. See if he. So for those of you who um, maybe are not a part of the THL, just so you know, league here, we it's a nobody makes any money. We do it all for fun. And right now we're just kind of casting some matches from our league. So if you're interested, you could check out thl.com or what is it, DadLegends.com. We also have a
Yes.
Discord there as well. So there. I told Kel that we're going to get ready for our next match. Kind of dip. So I'm sending a message on Discord, but no response.
All right. Um, yeah. Okay. So we'll just oh, Kel just got back to me. He's down for an interview. So
Awesome.
let's get him on here. Let's see.
Okay. Get the bands are in for the next match, so I'll go ahead and get that set up while you're.
Okay. Let me add him here. All right. Hello.
Hello.
Amazing match there.
Congratulations. What a series. Some crazy games. Can you tell me what you were thinking when you first saw that shaman in game 1? I know we had a little bit of insight there. We saw the Tempest in the hand, and we were theorizing and thinking about like how the combo was going to go, but you had no idea. You just saw all of the cycle with the frog, and until that combo came down that first game. What were you thinking?
I thought it was an aggro shaman, like the overload variant.
Hmm.
I was certainly not expecting to get OTK'd by a Leroy.
Yeah. Yeah, and
And then I saw that, and I immediately messaged Hockey, and I was like, "What the f just happened?"
um, yeah, that shaman was very interesting, and I could see just from we have caster vision, so we can kind of see everything. And it did look like he played a lot of the early minions of that aggro shaman with all the spells and stuff. It's kind of hard to dictate that, but what I do like is how you were down 0-2 and you still came back and swept with Holy Wrath Paladin, and you even saw the
Mhm.
lethal at the end, um, even though I didn't see it there at the very end. I was like, what are you doing? And then realizing that you knew what you had left in your deck
Mhm.
and you had lethal. So
Yeah, that discounted Holy Wrath really coming in handy there at the end. Um, some crazy games. I think the most insane was actually game 3, where it was the Shaman against the Holy Wrath, where it was pretty much down to the wire. He wasn't drawing his minions that he needed to combo you. They were all like in the bottom 5. Um, and then besides the Tempest, which he was afraid to play and have it die before he could do the full combo. Um, and then you were down to like uh, pretty low, I think, if I recall correctly, and you had like 3 cards left in your deck, and you just went for it. You did the 2 out of 5. You smacked him with the Holy Wrath, got the 2 out of 5, and from there it was smooth sailing.
I was terrified that he had the combo in hand, and last week I lost my match because I did not take a 1 in 6 on the Holy Wrath.
Hmm.
So I said, you know what? It's in RNG's hands now. I gotta take the. I think I had 3 cards left in deck, and I shuffled 2 Shirvallas.
Yep. So 2 out of 5. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? I have to go for it because next turn he's gonna kill me. I'm out of timeouts.
Hmm.
I have no way to survive next turn.
I would go
Yeah, and
back.
I think it was the right call in that situation.
I would go back when you got lethal on one of your matches. You actually had a guaranteed lethal, and
Oh yes, yeah.
you could have played Flash of Light, drew a card, and then guaranteed Shirvala to face there. But you did put the 2 in and did have a 66 chance to.
Yeah, I think that was the second match with your Holy Wrath Paladin. You had 1 card left in your deck. You had Flashlight, and you had enough mana to do the Flashlight then the Holy Wrath combo, but you did the combo first. And you won that 50-50, but that was scary. I think that would have
Yeah.
Oh, I
sealed
think
the
I
game
I
there.
think I must have miscounted then because I was looking at that. I was like, can I Flash of Light and play Shirvala and Banker and Holy Wrath? I think I miscounted my mana on that turn actually. But yeah, yeah, I got the 2 out of 3. So
Yeah, because Flashlight and Banker cost the same, right? And I think you
right,
did 2 bankers.
yeah, and
Um,
that was my downfall. I had it in my head that I had to play both Bankers, and that's why I didn't play the Flash of Light.
mhm. I
So
gotcha. Fair enough, but it worked out. And then that last game, able to cycle a little bit faster, and knowing that last card in your deck, getting that discounted Holy Wrath to get him, 'cause that was like neck and neck with the draws. And you both still had your both timeouts available. So finding the exact moment and the double Holy Wrath to get there was key.
And
I was so stressed out in that mirror because I was thinking whoever plays timeout first loses.
that's kind of what we were saying too
Yep.
there.
But no one played
Oh,
timeout at all, so that also is a way that you can lose in that situation. If exactly they either have the double Holy Wrath potential, like obviously it's hard to play around that. He didn't know what you were able to discount with your prismatic lenses, but being able to Holy Wrath twice, that was it. That's all you needed.
Yeah, I even had the mana for the consecration on top of it if I needed it. So
and I do like your first Holy Wrath Paladin match where you had to go for the 50-50 win. So
yeah,
that was awesome. You knew he had healing in his hand, or not in his hand, but you knew he had he did have healing in his hand. By the way, he had a 0 mana um what do you call it, Witch's Brew. So
oh no,
yeah, he was a little greedy with it. He could have healed himself, but you knew he ran that, so I'm sure you assumed you had to go all in at some point, or he
yeah,
would be
I
able to
saw
heal himself
the
up.
I saw him in range of the Holy Wrath, and I was like, I have to go, or he's just gonna heal, and I'm not gonna be able to. I'm not gonna be able to finish him off.
Mhm.
I wasn't sure if he was running Hagatha because I never saw it.
No, I do not believe he was.
And I was worried about Hagatha as well because on top of the Witch's Brew, he also had potentially a Hagatha that could gain him 5 armor as well.
And that's one of those things with those janky decks, those homebrew decks, or those decks you don't expect. You have no idea what's in them, so you kind of have to like playing on Arena. You have to kind of play around everything almost.
Yeah, I think that I got very lucky with my draws with the Holy Wrath Paladin. Hockey is an incredible player, and I kind of feel bad because I took some RNG chances there, and it just kind of worked out for me. But
Hey, I mean, you saw your outs. I don't think you can complain. And you did well, like, right? Like, I mean, you knew what you had to do to win, and you got there. Obviously, a little bit of luck, but I think that's Hearthstone.
Yeah, but I
You
think
have sometimes to take those chances.
there was luck on both sides too. You were unlucky on your priest when you were drawing cards there. I believe if you had got like an inner fire or
Hmm.
any of the inner
yeah,
fires or the topsy
The
turvy, you would have
topsy,
won.
yeah.
You would have won that match. And
yeah. In the priest game. Yeah, I was 1 card off of lethal, and I was trying to maximize my draws, and I just missed it, unfortunately.
that's again Hearthstone. So I think Hearthstone gave it back to you with your Holy Wrath Paladin draws there. So,
Yeah, for sure.
but yeah, it's good to get for AskHS to get a first win under the belt. Get AskHS back into the playoff race.
Yeah, I think that was a big win for us because I don't think that's a match we were expecting to win this week. So, as far as points go and like the week goes, I think that Hockey did still put up 2 points, which is good for his team as well. I mean, it's anybody's game, but I think that does help us out a lot this week. So, because DadLegend's a great team. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, they definitely look good. Well played by you, man. I think those were some fun games to watch, and I appreciate you guys, being willing to be on stream. And having I think we should definitely do more of these. Maybe not every week, but when there's good matches like this on Thursday night, I'd love to stick around and do these.
yeah, and it's funny because I actually almost banned his shaman because I was looking through and I'm like, I can ban his because I didn't know if he had control warrior uh, or if he had aggro warrior. So I actually had aggro warrior. I decided to go with like an aggressive lineup this week because a lot of people know me as like a control player. So I was trying to kind of play some mind games with my opponent, and but the double warrior ban kind of threw that all off. So
Yeah, I thought that was going to be some quick games after seeing that shaman in the first 2 games, and then you turned it around. So,
I think there's
yeah,
nothing better feeling than when you 3-0 somebody that feels pretty good, but then reverse sweeping I think is the second best thing. No, you have that feeling of despair when you're 0-2 and you're like, this is it, and you come
yeah,
back with all the decks. So
I 100% thought I was getting swept there.
a good job, and Hockey Boys, good job for him too. I think you got to give Hockey Boys some credit too,
absolutely.
bringing that shaman deck that was crazy, and he played it so confidently. You saw him when he played his cards. He knew when he had lethal, even when he didn't play the Mega Wind Fury guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, definitely a deck that I'm sure he's played before. He loves his spice, and I love the ingenuity and the creativity, and definitely makes it interesting to play against the guy. You never know what you're gonna get.
yeah, that shaman list was super spicy. I kind of want to play it now.
I always find that you do that and you go on ladder and you play it, you lose like 10 games, and you're like, how did he beat me twice with this deck?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the frog cycling the whole deck was pretty sick. I think he had frog on all 3 games, so definitely not bad when that can happen.
So Hockey Boys got a little lucky as well. So I
I
think,
think that's Hearthstone for you. I
yeah,
think everyone gets a little bit. Sometimes some people get a little bit more one day, and sometimes other people get a little bit more. And I think today was just well played by both, and maybe just a little bit of extra luck on your side today. But who's to say what'll happen next time?
Hey, I'll take it. I need some momentum going into my match against Donde tomorrow. So
Oh yeah, now that you won this, I think you're screwed, man. You can't
I used up all my luck.
use it up. No, I think you played really well and played to your out. So not
I
bad.
I do think I could have played the Murloc Shaman a little better. I think I definitely overextended. Um,
Hmm.
but I I thought he was aggro shaman in my defense, so I didn't
yeah.
expect. Oh no, I no wait.
I think
No,
you
yeah,
saw
that was
the
game. Yeah,
first.
that was game one. So yeah,
Yeah, that
no,
was game one.
I I was still thinking he was aggro shaman at that point with like some anti aggro techs. So
Hmm.
I was not expecting like earthquake and Hagath's scheme.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. I think definitely hard to figure out what that is from what you saw. So definitely a little bit of an overextension, but you didn't know what you were facing yet. So it's part of the fun of
Yeah.
closed deck lists. You can disguise one deck as another deck until something happens, and then you're like, oh, I've been playing against this totally wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I would have to agree there. And I think even if you didn't overextend, I did mention in there, extending a little bit, but he
Hmm.
did have more AOE in his hand even after he times.
Yeah.
So even
Oh
if you,
jeez.
yeah, he had like, I don't know, what is it, like three um Hagatha scheme, and he also had a volcano hand,
Oh
whatever
gross.
that card is, earthquake.
Earthquake.
Yeah, he had an
Yeah.
earthquake in his hand
Earthquake.
as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah, I was basically praying for a top deck bloodlust. So
yeah, so I don't know. I think it didn't matter. I think he had all the answers in that game. So
Yeah.
the only
Absolutely.
major issue was that one with Paladin.
yeah, where I
That
missed the
was it.
guaranteed. Yeah. Yeah.
Everything else was great. Great to see a first sweep like that.
Absolutely. I'm stoked.
I'm glad we could get matches on Thursday like this just for the moment. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but this was definitely not planned. This was like literally right before Tavern Talk. I asked Manadon, it's like, hey, do you want to cast some matches after the thing? And he was like, yeah, let's do a marathon. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm really glad that we were able to get a couple matches in.
Yeah, I am getting updates here from Pond. It sounds like there was a little bit of confusion about the time. So I think maybe Manny thought it was Central. So uh,
Yeah, I don't.
that's what Pond's telling me now. So he says there's a chance he'll be on in about 10 minutes. If he's not on by then, I think maybe uh, we'll call it, because otherwise I think it's supposed to be in like another 30 minutes or so. So if he's on in the next 10, we can definitely get it. But if it's in 30, maybe that, I don't know. How do you feel?
Um, yeah, I think we could win. So I don't really want to talk for 10 minutes. So I think we can
Well,
maybe.
we can find something to talk about if we want, or we
All
can
right,
we can call it
let's talk.
here and
Let's
then
do. Let's talk. Let's banter for 10 minutes.
yeah, let's banter. Let's
Uh,
banter a little bit. Kel, you're welcome to stick around and banter with us since we're just stalling for time here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone cue the Jeopardy song.
uh so what have you guys been seeing any kind of crazy decks that you've been playing on ladder or anything like that?
I've been playing some Mechathune Warlock. I don't know how crazy that is. I mean, some GMs brought it, so it's nothing like this shaman we just saw, but definitely something that is less popular on ladder, and people don't really expect it when they queue into Warlock right away, so you get a little bit of a surprise there. Um,
Yeah,
it doesn't last very long because you usually play quest on one, but uh, maybe they mulligan incorrectly and you have that advantage.
fair enough.
I've been playing some Highlander Paladin aggro version,
Mhm.
secrets, and it actually runs the 3 mana 4/3 that triggers your secrets twice. So
Commander Rissa,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it's a very interesting deck. You look at it when you look at the deck list, you're like, this deck is garbage. Like you look at it and you think somebody just like that. Hey, I want to make a Highlander Paladin secret deck, and so they just threw in all random cards or something. But but it works. It really
Mhm.
actually works. You play it, and you know you get that 2 mana 2/3 the Finley right on two. You get a really good hero power right off the bat, and that's really strong. I think people forget how strong Odd Paladin was in being able to create 2/1/1s every single turn. And I think the Highlander Paladin deck is very similar to the Odd Paladin deck because with the Odd Paladin deck, yeah, you could have two ofs, but you can only have odd cards. You couldn't throw in the even cards.
Mhm.
So the Highlander Paladin deck, you can have any card you want from
Just the
any,
one of it, yeah.
but one of it.
Yeah.
So I think you can't rule out the Highlander Paladin deck, and I think that with next expansion, the Highlander Paladin might become even better especially if they
Mhm.
make more aggro centric cards.
Yeah,
So
it's interesting. I actually Blue Sombrero brought Highlander Paladin to World Cup, and I remember prepping for that, and it was really hard to prep against. I felt really bad into it, and he actually shielded it because it's a powerful deck. It has the aggro tools. If obviously there's draw RNG a little bit because it is a singleton deck, but if you have that Finley on two, like you have Zephyrus, like those types of things are just so powerful. You have those secrets early, and then you have what is that card called? The let me pull it up.
Octosari?
No, Octosari is good for sure, but no, I'm thinking about the Prince Liam. So like
Yeah.
even if you have to convert from an aggro plan, and you're facing like warrior or something, you can still get there. You have like Liam to just give yourself all of your secrets and stuff just become legendaries, and it gives you that sort of headache. And then on top of that, you're playing a lot of mechs and the Kangors, and sort of can get there
Awesome. He's
against
logging in
some
now.
control decks as well.
my
We'll
only
get the
issue
test.
with the Highlander Hunter or the Highlander Paladin is that it's very similar in a power spike to like a Keleseth deck, right? So like if you have Finley on two, it
Hmm.
spikes your win rate so hard.
Oh, absolutely.
But if you don't have the Finley on two, then it really like I don't know. I feel like the deck almost limps to the finish at that point.
Yeah, I don't know if it's quite as pronounced because it still can do some powerful things, but it feels like that gives you such a huge percentage boost, similar to Keleseth, that it's just like, yeah, I mean, it's super powerful, and it's a one of, so you're gonna have really really powerful games and just feels really good and almost unbeatable, and then you're gonna have games where it's kind of just like you said, like a slog.
Yeah, that Highlander Paladin deck, the biggest issue with it is if you don't you run out of cards real quickly. The
Yes,
refill is
yeah.
Octosari, and I've had matches where I play Octosari and I have like one card left or no cards left, and then
Hmm.
they'll just play Zephyrs and Tex it, or something. So I've actually had one game where a shaman mind control tech of my full board of 7 minions and stole my one Octosari.
Yeah, yep,
Like
that'll happen.
so, I like Octosari in the deck, but I'm finding that it's unreliable. I think that deck might become better
More
if it could
refined.
yeah, if it could find ways to draw cards on a consistent basis without giving up the board and giving up some of its some power.
Yeah, remember when what that 3 mana, what's it called? That card was a card. The draw cards until you have the same as your opponent. It's in
Yeah,
Wild now. It
Divine Favor.
was Divine Favor.
Divine
Oh,
Favor, yeah.
if
Divine
that
Favor
was
was yeah.
if that was still in standard, holy moly.
There's a reason that card was Hall of
Yep.
Famed.
I think hopefully we'll see some priest cards Hall of Famed here. Yeah, like Divine Favor. Uh,
Divine Spirit,
Divine
Divine
Spirit.
yeah.
All the
Spirit.
divine cards gotta just
I
get out of the
do
But I
as far as Priest is concerned, I honestly feel like if they Hall of Fame Divine Spirit, I think that's the problem card, right? Because that's the card that enables the crazy like inner fire combos and stuff like that. If you're doing it with like Power Word Shield and the 1 mana 1/2 give a friendly minion +2 health, like that feels a lot more fair than Divine Spirit.
Yeah, I don't know if actually the combo variant will exist if they do that. We'll see what sort of things that Priest could do if they decide to do that, because it does feel like its identity is like currently it's just combo.
Yeah.
They got rid of like the other types of Priest decks with some of the rotations and saying they're, this is the identity of Priest now. So if they do get rid of it, they're going to have to introduce some other archetype that is competitive, because otherwise Priest feels almost unplayable. Like,
Yeah.
the Quest Priest is not good.
I will say the thing I do like about Combo Priest is it's a very high skill ceiling deck, right? So
I think it's a low skill floor but a high skill ceiling. It's like
exactly.
a lot of people can play it at a decent amount and get a lot of wins, but it's hard to be really, really good at it. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, if you're like a high legend player and you play Combo Priest, like you'll have really good success with it.
All right, it does look like Manny Skull is signing on now, so we will say goodbye to Khell for now. But thank you for joining us and stalling with us, and congrats again on your win.
Thank you. Thank you very
Yes.
much. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course,
Awesome,
man.
Cal. Have a great
Always a
one.
pleasure. See you later.
Later,
Good luck
guys.
tomorrow as well.
Thank you.
All right, so
Awesome.
as we're getting ready for this match, let's talk a little bit about the classes and the decks here. So we already do have the shields and bans. So I'll tell you all the 4 decks and then what they chose to shield and ban. So for Manny, he brought Highlander Hunter, Combo Priest, as we were just talking about, Quest Druid, and it looks like a Mech Paladin. And Pond brought a Control Warrior, Mech Paladin as well, Combo Priest, and a sort of aggro. It's like an Overload Token Shaman with Murlocs. It's like somewhere. It's just like a Token Shaman with the Bloodlust top end to kind of hit your face. It's his own little spicy Pond Shaman, he calls it.
It looks like the sort of a mixture of aggro shaman, spell shaman, the overload shaman, mixed in with Murloc shaman, best of both worlds kind of.
Yeah, instead of the top end sort of over the top damage that the aggro overload has with the the Doomhammer and the lava bursts and stuff like that, it has more of the minion heavy token based strategy. But as far as the shields and bans, it looks like Manny decided to shield his hunter, the Highlander hunter, and Pond decided to shield his priest. And in response to those shields, Manny banned the Mech Paladin of Pond, and Pond banned the Combo Priest of Manny. So we're going to be seeing Manny's Druid, Hunter, and Paladin against, well, potentially. We won't see all 3 of those decks necessarily, but those are the 3 options. And then on Pond's side, he has the Priest, Shaman, and Warrior.
And we are in the match now. We have Pond starting off with his shaman, and Manny starting off with his hunter.
Okay. So Pond Shaman against Manny's Highlander Hunter. All right, so pretty good hand here from Manny. He's got a secret that he wants. Rat Trap's really good in this matchup, and the Sunreaver Spy and the Mask Contender, just to sort of just keep going with that secret package. A lot of times you find you have the secret but not the secret combo cards, or vice versa. So definitely a good start here from Manny, although Pond opting to be overloaded turn 1 just to make these sparks. I don't know what he's expecting necessarily, but maybe just hoping to push damage. Maybe this Lickum comes out as well, or or actually this angler. Um, I don't dislike this. He's got the Murloc War Leader here to start cycling Murlocs, and it's something tough for Manny to deal with here. He's got the deadly shot that could clear it. He's got or the kill command, sorry, to clear it, or deadly shot to take the 1 out of 3. I don't think you do that. Or you go for Mass Contender and see what secret he could get here. Lots of options here for Manny. What do you think? Looks like he's opting for the Contender. He finds Snake Trap.
Going to have to apologize to our viewers. Our hand flip for this match is not working, so have to watch upside down cards for the match. Work on getting it fixed. Again, remember, this is a spur of the moment match, so I do apologize for the not having the upside down hand or having the upside
All
down
right.
hand. But yes, I honestly wasn't focused on that. I was trying to fix this, so if you
No
want to repeat
worries,
that
no
again.
worries. The turn happened, so it's all good. It does look like Pawn tested here for Snipe, so he's probably narrowed this down here to Pressure Plate, Rat Trap, and Snake as 2 of those, because he attacked face, so he knows it's not explosive or freezing. It's not Snipe because he played the Murloc War Leader, so narrowing these down, probably going to play around Rat Trap the rest of the game until maybe he has lethal potential if it gets to that, and probably never going to attack the minions unless he absolutely has to or has an answer for the snakes. So
Yeah, and I think if you're Manny Skull here too, you got to think about removing this angler as well.
yeah, he opts to actually take out the war leader instead. Maybe just saying like if he wants to cycle with a ton with this angler, he's gonna have to activate my rat trap. He is gonna at least get 2 Murlocs here if he wants to play around the rat. I think that makes a lot of sense. A second angler here going to be pretty powerful. You saw how much he struggled to deal with the first one, so I do expect this all to go face again.
But yeah, I think face
I
is
do
probably
not agree with that. I do not agree with that attack there.
definitely.
You, like, you know what the traps could be. Like, that I do not agree with that play at all. I think you were super far ahead. Now we can clear both of your minions here and take the board. I think that
And he has
that
an
one
extra
play there.
charge on his weapon as well.
Mhm.
I think if you're the Murloc Shaman, you let him control the board. You know, you
Yeah, you let him try to kill your minions. Like he had the bloodlust. Like if he had all those minions left, he had 4 minions. There was only 1 minion out there and the bow. Like he could only clear 2 of them, and he would have had to trade. He would be at um 14 right now, and he would have been able to kill just 2 of your minions. You would have still had 3 damage plus like this lick 'em and so, like he would have been in a really good position. Now he's a little bit behind. Um,
and now he's
Another
got
bloodlust.
double bloodlust in his. You can probably Thunderhead here, if you
Yeah.
wanted to, but I think maybe saving off a turn.
Is
May
he
as
gonna
well.
play into Rat Trap here as well? Really hope not. I hope he just hero powers and just goes face with this. I think you just go face. I think you're so far ahead. You get a board
Yeah.
to stick. Like I don't like this at all. I don't like the hitting the Ursatron. You're letting him draw into his Ziliax, things you don't want him to.
Yep.
Like if you just go face here, he's at 12. Shaman or Hunter doesn't have anything to heal besides this Ziliax, and you just gave it to him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not only that, he could have. I think how much damage did he last? Uh,
He lost 3 damage last turn, and now he lost another 3
Okay.
damage. So
that's 9.
we're
Who-
that's 6 damage. He'd be at 9 right now, and he's got
And
he's
actually,
got 2 more charges here with this, and the Thunderhead Voltaic Burst. Like he would have been very close.
didn't he lose another 3 damage from rocking the trap as well and having those 3 1/1s trade in as well? So I think he would have been down further than that. With more board space.
Yeah, and now we're getting to the point where this Ziliax is gonna be a big threat. It's gonna be able to jump onto one of these this snip snaps and cause a lot of problems. We probably do see the Voltaic Burst come out, so this is going to be a very wide board. So still not out of the woods. I think you don't even trade here. I think you just go face with the 1/1 and the weapon and just leave your minions alive. Again with the trading, I don't like this. I really don't like this. Like, push the damage. He's going to have to make those trades.
But he has to know he has Ziliax because he got.
The
I
snip
mean,
snap was a
yeah,
draw.
it
Yeah,
was a
he has
draw.
to
It
know there's
wasn't.
Ziliax.
It was not a not from the
Yeah.
first
He has
one.
the hex to answer it, but he's going to heal 5 off of it before that. And like, I think you've given up now at this point like 7 damage or something, or 8 damage. Like, actually no, that was another 3, so that's 9 damage that he hasn't gone face that he could have, and potentially another 3. So like, this could have very well been like Manny at 1 health, 2 health right now, and maybe
And-
this bloodlust would have just put it over the top already. Like,
Yeah, this is, I mean, I think he's still in an okay position.
yeah, he's got a big board here. He's gonna have to double trade into this Thunderhead. You have the Hex here to deal with one of them. It is gonna activate the pressure plate, but
Yeah, you don't mind a 1/1.
yeah, you can Hex that.
Now my question is here: is he going to trade into all of them again?
Please don't. Please don't. You've seen all of the mechs now. All of the mechs of the deck. There's no more mechs
I think
that you can worry about.
probably Slurper here, and then maybe
You don't play another minion because it's going to activate.
the rat
This is going to
trap.
activate the rat. You do not want to do that. Just go face.
Oh, rip.
Oh no. Like, I guess he wants the wider board, but like, please don't trade into this. Please just go face. Go face.
Oh my god.
Oh no, that's 9 damage he didn't go face with. I'm like,
I'm not laughing at. I'm sorry. If you're watching the VOD, I'm not laughing at Pond. I'm laughing at you, man.
oh no, I'm upset. Pond, come on, dude, hear me from beyond the caster desk. Like, he still has a chance here, but he's gonna be able to clear 2 things here, 3 things with this.
I just realized he's on your team.
Unleash
So
the beast. Yeah, I'm invested. I'm trying to be as neutral as possible, but
I was
think,
wondering why you were extra angry. I was like, wait a minute, are you guys on the same team? Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you though.
Clear 3 here.
And I gotta say, I do play against a hunter a lot. Sometimes forget about the rat trap. It's like that sneaky little thing that comes and bites you in the butt. And once you it's one of those things that if you don't pay attention to it, it's gonna come back and you know you're gonna bite you in the butt. You're gonna lose.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose to it because you can't come back from it. It's like a free 2. It's a 2-mana 6/6.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Pond is out of it. I think he can still get there. I think there's going to probably see a double trade here, and the hero power. Actually, he's going to go face. I don't agree with this. He's trying to push, and that's actually that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 plus the 6. That's lethal. I think that was Manny's first mistake there. I think he would just continue to trade. Obviously, you want to push that 6 damage, but you could have at least counted the bloodlust lethal there. I think that was an easy lethal to spot. You see he's making all these tokens. I'm surprised. You've seen that card in his hand for a very long time. That actually surprises me from Manny there. I mean, I think both players made a couple of errors there, but in the end, it was Manny's choice there not to clear, to push. Obviously, he was trying to get 2-turn lethal, but I think if you just clear that board, he's running out of stuff, and then you find yourself in a pretty favorable position with the cards in his hand.
I gotta ask you a question. I don't play shielded as much as I'm not doing Pro Series. How often do you start with your shielded deck? I realize
it really depends.
Manny started with his shielded deck, but Pond didn't. So Pond has his shielded deck to play next, which I think is Priest is okay into pretty much every deck. But he could probably. I
think the Hunter's actually a little bit favored into the Priest, a little bit. I think Priest obviously can high roll, but the Hunter can do the same in the other way. Like the right secrets, like freezing, pressure plate, rat trap are all really tough for the Priest to deal with. So I think Manny's going to run it back, assuming the Priest is going to come in, and it does. So you know, this can go either way, but I think it is a little favored for Manny. Um,
If you're
as far
pawn,
as
probably just one light warden.
yeah, if you even keep yeah, I don't like keeping two, but Pond disagrees. So as
And
for Manny,
I think I would probably ditch it all. You're looking for, I mean, you don't really want
I
to, you don't want a Crocless on two. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Deadly Shot's really good. So is Zephyrus for sure. Freezing. This hand is looking really good for Manny. Um,
Oh, there we go. He's got the trap there.
Snakes doesn't really do much, but you might want to play it out now because
The
there's no way to
coin, yeah.
proc it. You could coin it out and then get the 3/4 here. I think that might be the play.
Actually, you do want to get possible. We do see this. Yeah, he's gonna
Yeah, so
two.
he's gonna do that. Um, we'll see how Pawn plays around this. He should assume that it is not not a trap that he can activate if he's going to choose to activate one. It's not going to be one that he can play. So um,
It's gonna be difficult. He's gonna play this 3/4, and I have to find a way to deal with it. I mean, I think can can heal Annie's face and then topsy turvy it and and kill it. Yeah, so he's
yeah,
and
I don't know
still have
that
a
you want to do that though. You might just want to go face here.
uh,
Yeah, I don't think you want to be doing that. Um, if you can avoid it.
yeah.
Like obviously like this is a losing battle, but it could be snakes. Like you don't want to give him more stuff right now. You don't have answers to it.
Yeah,
Um,
it makes sense.
like the Zephyrus could give him backstab. Deadly Shot also is an option, but I think he probably tries to save that for maybe Amet on 4. If he's assuming he clears this, then Amet comes down. He's probably saving the Deadly Shot for that. So I could see the Zephyrus just the backstab to double clear and sort of win the board. And if the hunter wins the board, it's going to be hard for the priest to come back. So
I,
I think that's what we're going to see here. He's actually opting for the Deadly Shot. That's interesting. I guess he's saying like Zephyrus into Shadowward Pain does the same thing to the Amet turn, and it's better use of the mana to do the 3 cost this turn. So uh,
yeah, and I think Pond keeping on to those two light wardens, I think that hurt him a little bit. He did have an awkward
I
turn
think
on
one
turn
is
two.
okay, but
Yeah,
yeah,
on turn two, he literally just played one mana 1/2. I mean, it does have a huge upside in being able, but like we were saying pre-show, you want to get the good stuff, and that one of them is good, but it's not the best card to play on one.
yeah,
So
yeah. You'd rather have your cleric on 1 or um, and then get that Tolvir on 2 and
yes,
get your powered shields and stuff and start cycling. And right
hand is
now he doesn't
really
really have much
clunky.
of that.
He's got a super clunky hand. He could probably deal 1 damage, maybe do something with Flippy, but you know,
All right, so we're gonna see actually that freezing come out.
I don't know if
I don't like this play.
yeah, me either. I think if you're Pond, you probably just I would just run it in just to see what it is.
Yeah, he
Because
might
it's
he
gonna
might powered shield here to try to proc pressure plate because that also could have been an option. Um, checking for snipe now.
I think
Uh,
I think I
now he
probably
doesn't attack. I guess I don't. That was a little awkward, but
I don't know. I think I would have ran it in first because even if it is explosive trap, kills it, but
you
it
you
comes
get the other
back.
half. Yeah.
Then you could heal it and powered shield it.
I think
Um,
he probably had the read that it wasn't explosive because he wouldn't have played it for that
yeah.
very reason. So he's thinking I think he had the correct read that it was either pressure plate or freezing. So once he committed to testing the pressure plate first, getting that minion frozen now feels a little bit awkward. So I can see that. I can see that line. Because of the way he decided to play around things, I think it was correct not to attack then.
He could
But
look in. This is interesting. I gotta realize that Freezing Trap is still there. You don't want to go for a Divine Spirit play here, if not knowing that there's a Freezing Trap there. So I don't know. I kind of like testing it earlier, the play
Yep.
before, so it's not there anymore. And you could just play it again. Now you buff this up. Now what are you gonna do? Like, not much you can do.
Yeah, I mean, he might choose to buff it up and hope that he can get
Oh,
another
I'm
minion to
sorry,
stick
guys.
before.
I've been in the transition the entire time, so I look. So 6
Oops.
turns in the transition screen. I apologize, everybody.
So he's gonna have to get something to stick here. I don't know. Using that Divine Spirit this early, he only needs 2 damage to clear this first half, and then I mean we do see the Unleash the Beast grabbed here,
And
so he can clear this out.
that Spellbreaker. Sorry, Spellbreaker is gonna come in handy. I do like this tech. Manny Skull put in his deck.
Mm-hmm.
I think he specifically thought about Priest, this getting rid of those large minions, maybe shutting down the 2/7 that gives everybody 7 health. So
Mm-hmm.
I really like that idea. On this turn, I think it's maybe okay to go ahead and unleash the beast. I think.
Yeah, I think it's either the Spellbreaker Hero Power or the Unleash and full clear this.
Spellbreaker does give you more stats on board, though.
Yeah.
So this is a more tempo-y play. It allows you to trade into more later turns. I think this is a good play, good fine play.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough for Pond to come back here unless he gets like Bond Somni or something to start cycling a little bit. He's used 1 Divine Spirit, so not gonna have quite as much burst. He's gonna he didn't find his clerics. He hasn't found he's already used 1 acolyte for 1 draw, so he's struggling a little bit here to cycle, and he needs to find something. So this pyro, like, it will be able to kill one of these, but I don't think it's worth it here. Like, you really want to save that for cycle because you are running out of stuff. I really don't like this. I don't think it's worth it at all.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one. I don't know. I'm more leaning towards maybe Tolvier.
And what is that Topsy about? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why Topsy the 4/3? What does that do for you? I really don't like that play. I don't know how he comes back now. I think you had to hold on that pyro for some combo stuff later. Like, you draw a cleric or a circle. Like, you need to leverage all this stuff.
I think really the only way that Pond comes back from this is if he draws the 7 mana 7/7 that gives you
Yeah, the
your 1.
Buon Samdi. I think it has to be Buon Samdi. Like, I guess he can make 2 minions here with the Neferset that are pretty hefty. But like,
Okay, this is fine.
like, it's okay, but he can just clear your minions.
Yeah. I mean, there's really not much.
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't think Manny has too much to worry about here. I mean, this is really, I think, going to seal the deal. Like,
100%.
there is silence in the deck, so the silence could come out, but he's got to find it. This is going to let him just completely full clear here. Even be able to keep his Spellbreaker alive.
And
that
doesn't really do much.
Not going to do much. So I think making the right call this time, holding on to it. But it's tough. I think a couple of those early plays were a little bit questionable and might cost him. I don't know that he had the draw to get there, but I think holding on to that acolyte for pyro turns might have turned out better for him since he had both of those and no really other draw. Then maybe going for that one Light Warden rather than keeping two of them, I think. We'll see. It's not over, but I think this actually sets up 2 turns. So
Yeah, he needs to do something here, and I don't know what he.
there's
Yeah, that's not gonna do it.
yeah, he's technically alive at 1 with the hero power, but actually no, he's not because his hero power takes him out. So that's game 2. So Manny has gotten a win with his hunter. So he has his druid and paladin left, and Pond has this priest and his warrior left. So let's see what he thinks is good into these. I don't think the warrior does quite enough into this druid and paladin, so I think we might
Yeah.
see this priest again.
And then if you're Manny, you gotta pick which deck. You know, which deck is gonna be better versus priest.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
What
that's an
deck are you
interesting one.
feeling? What deck do you think?
I think maybe it's going to be the paladin into the priest here.
Yep.
Just because I think druid, if it gets out of hand, they just lose. Like you get
This
a
is
cleric
mech
early.
paladin.
Yep, this is mech paladin. So these silences are going to definitely come in handy, but they do have some ways to maybe kill these minions. They have taunts. I still don't think it's ideal, but they have sort of skater bots and things that they can sort of charge in or taunt up with Annoya modules, faceless like
I think
Ziliacs, Kangors.
I think these mulligans were good. I like keeping the draw, even throwing away the silence. You're not going to need it for the first 5 turns in the game. You're kind of hoping to get some clerics and some other things to draw. So I kind of like both mulligans. And then Mandy Skull didn't really have much in the way of an opening hand. So
Yeah.
I might have kept the 3 mana 3/4, the 5 mana 3/4, the Glow Dragon or
The
Glow.
buff, I think it's too slow.
Yeah, it might have been too slow. That's the only card I would have thought about keeping.
Yeah. But yeah, I think man making the right choice not to play the Glowtron there, just because you don't really want to just give him something to trade and heal. And he's going to be able to do actually with this Galvanizer. If this doesn't get buffed, the cleric is going to die next turn with the Galvanizer. Glowtron Skaterbot can just punch into this cleric. So not finding a buff, and he's going to be able to do that if he sees it. I'm sure he will. And that's a pretty tough minion. That's like a
3/5.
a 3. Yeah, it's going to be a 3/5 after it
after
trades.
attacks. Yeah, 3/6 before.
Yeah. So we'll see if he goes for that. I think he sees it.
He's gonna have a nice next turn with Noyatron on top of it.
Yeah, exactly. So starting to find something here. Not really too many great options here for Pond this turn.
You can't. I mean, you could buff it, but like
that
he's
feels
just gonna,
really awkward.
It feels super awkward, and he did just a Noyatron, so he could easily okay, he could kill it.
Oh no, I don't know if I like this either.
Yeah, me neither.
That's 2 of your combo pieces. He does find another one, but I just feel like Pond's using his pieces a little bit too freely. I think you need to be a little bit greedy with some of those, and obviously you do want to cycle as much as you can. Not finding buffs for his cleric really hurt him there. Was able to Manny Skull was able to kind of maneuver that, but Psychopomp gonna give him something back. We don't see anything too big on the side of Manny here that he can put on there. Obviously, he has the Bronze Gatekeeper, and this Call to Adventure I think pulls like a Skaterbot or Glowtron that will be buffed. But
yeah, I might have to agree with you there. I was kind of okay with him mulliganing silence early. Now I'm thinking about it, he hasn't drawn it yet.
Yeah, I think silence is pretty powerful in this matchup, and I don't mind keeping it. This isn't a bad draw though. He's going to be able to trade and get a couple cycles here with this. See what he decides to do here. Yeah, I mean, this Power Word Shield is similar to just healing it, but I guess it gives you an extra draw potentially. We do see the True Silver though that kind of denies it to just 2 draws, but he is going to be able to get 2 here, and there's really not too much in Manny's hand that's that scary at the moment. So still a lot of options here. We do see Cleric number 2. So I kind of like waiting one more turn here for the High Priest Emmet, Divine Spirit, and then Cleric or something like that. So you could also just try to cycle a little bit with this Tolvir, Cleric, Circle, and draw 2. I think you don't mind buffing that because you're drawing to your silences that you're just going to use on that in a little bit. So I don't mind letting it get a little bit bigger, waiting on this Emmet. I do not like playing Emmet right now. Oh boy. Okay. It is a big boy, so it's going to be hard to kill, but he's got 7-8 damage with the Snip Snap. He's got another 4. So 12. So he can't quite kill it with that. With the Call to Adventure, he gets actually
Interesting.
it'll be attacked. Hello. Oh, can you hear? I think I there for
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah, I had a little stutter there as well.
Oh, I think I have to reload my parse. Oh no. Okay, here we are.
Good, we're good.
Okay. So I missed that turn.
He's gonna draw 3 here.
So what ended up happening that turn?
I'm
Okay.
I was
So still no silence here. It's going to come down to finding it, I think. Still not finding it. It's certainly not the end of the world, but
does have a Met,
Emmet,
so
yeah.
but we might
He's,
see this manipulator come down here.
yeah, the Faceless is going to make it a little bit trickier to deal with because we still don't see a silence, so he's going to have to draw into 2 of them. Some of these only run 1, so I do like the Faceless.
The good news for Bond is he has double inner fire in his hand. So if he does happen to get a silence of some kind, he could do some Pyromancer shenanigans, get a silence, use one of his minions. If he decides to buff it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are looking for that silence, and I'm not sure how many silences Pond runs in his deck. These decks are created before you know what the opponent's bringing. So if you do know he's bringing Mech Paladin, you'd run 2, but the odds are Pond's probably just got the 1.
Yeah, so still hasn't found it, but he's going to be able to cycle a little bit here. Maybe.
Now your question is how much are you going to cycle? You got to start counting cards.
Yeah, well, you can like more arms this, then Pyro, inner fire your Emmet, and do some wacky stuff. You can inner fire this Ritualist as well and guarantee the clear on that 7/12. If you play enough spells here. So I think maybe you do Pyro first. This is a tricky turn. This is definitely a tricky turn. He might actually not do the circle plan. He might just play the Ritualist here. just so he doesn't draw too much. This will kill. I think you trade the beamy sidekick if you're going to play the inner fire right now. Got to be a little bit quicker here, Pond. So if he finds the silence, it looks like he might just double trade here.
That's still.
This is okay. Yeah, it does clear the board here with the circle if he gets it off. It does get it off. So that's actually really big. And going to draw most of the deck. So this Kangors is going to have to get him 2 of those taunts. And even then...
It's going to be a very difficult position for Penny.
Yeah.
And, we got that silence in his hand here.
Yeah, we have the silence, so...
Oh,
and
wow.
this is not going to do it. I think
roll.
that is the
That's
game.
That's going to be the game there.
I don't think he has any way. He's got this Glowtron to make this a 6 attack minion, but it's not going to be enough. That's it. And Pond takes it 2-1 with a very close series, able to swing it back.
You gotta be happy about that.
Yeah, after a little awkward play there, but definitely got there. Let's see if he wants to jump in here for the call.
I think that just kind of shows you the strength of Priest. Just so strong right now, and it could win any match. And I think Pond could have won that Hunters match as well, by some of the plays there near the end or near the middle of the match. So Priest is showing its strength, and I think
Priest is really powerful.
And shielding it, I think, was definitely one of the right plays. I think a lot of people think about maybe shielding their warrior, but Priest really it doesn't really have any super weak matchups that people normally play in. So, but it's good. Pond did come out in the end, and it's good to get a win versus Bad to the Bone, the reigning champions.
Yeah, absolutely. Good win there, Pond. Congratulations. Those games had me sweating, man. There were a lot of plays in the first game that I was really not a fan of, but you managed to get there anyway. I think you did too much trading for my blood with the hand that you had. Can you tell me a little bit about your thought process there?
Yeah, I definitely, when I traded in and triggered the snake trap, was just an error. I was rather annoyed with myself for that.
Yeah, I think in general though, you did a lot of trading there, and I think you gave up with your weapon. I think about like 9 damage there. There was like another 3 damage. I think he could have potentially been dead before even getting that Ziliax down. You managed to have the Hex to answer that, but I think if you had just ignored it and didn't, obviously the snake trap was the initial first trade that I think was the mistake, but then you kind of snowballed and were like, I guess I'm trading. And I think there were definitely times where it was like, you just missed 3 damage here, 3 damage here. Now his snakes can clear this, so you've missed another 2 damage here. And he was at like 14 at one point. And I think if you had got those incremental numbers throughout those several turns, I think it would have been over way before. But you managed to do it. He decided not to trade and go for the 2-turn. Did not play around the bloodlust, and you got there because of it. So congratulations there. And then game 2, I think maybe a couple of choices with the usage of your draw tools, like your Acolyte just naked there when you didn't have a great way to cycle. You had a Pyro in hand, so you could have maybe gotten more out of it. Also keeping, I think, 2 of the Light Wardens we were talking about a little bit. But tell me your thought process. It managed to swing it back in the 3rd game there. I think played a little bit better with that Priest.
I think my thought process with the 2 Light Warden keep was I'm wanting to very much be aggressive. I find that the Hunter is a little too passive. And so if I can get out those early Light Wardens, you saw me actually tempo out the second one, have 2 3/2s on the board going into turn 3. So I can get him down to 24 on turn 3, hopefully push initiative there, especially if he has a lot of his more passive stuff. I can hopefully win the game early. I find I very much should
Mhm.
be the beatdown in that Priest Hunter matchup, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I just think the 2 health is just not the best point
Yeah,
for into that
yeah.
matchup. So I don't necessarily I do agree that you want to be a little bit aggressive, but you really need your draw. Like
You also need
you
your
go
injured
ahead.
12 years on 2 as well, and
Mhm.
some
Yeah,
some
yeah,
North Star clerics as well. Those are
yeah. Oh,
I think keeping one was good, but I think my Anadon and I both agree. I think, but I mean, it didn't really matter in the end because
Yeah, I think that that game there's
yeah,
not too much you could do at a certain point. Certain
yeah.
things I think maybe trading into the Ursatron at a certain there was like one point where you did that and just gave him his Ziliax. There were things like that maybe could be a little bit
Oh,
tighter, but overall I think I mean you managed to get the win. I think you played well.
and
yeah, yeah.
go ahead. We've been talking over you
I
this whole time. It's been not even giving you a
oh,
chance to talk.
the funniest thing was one of his decks had no new cards, and two of my decks had no new cards with the lineups, which I found rather amusing. He actually banned away my Paladin,
Mhm.
which also had no new cards. So um, the two Paladins and the Shaman all were you could have seen kicking around last season, which kind of just amused me. We had yeah, we both brought Mech Paladin, which is kind of odd for this point in the meta.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but I was very happy. Yeah, I pulled double priest ban, which set me up. I felt pretty confident with the shaman and the priest going into his druid and paladin. So getting that first win with the shaman into the hunter was nice.
Mhm.
And then I just had to win one of the last two. So yeah.
And I do like, though, a lot of times, we as casters, we see your misplays, and Anadon gets mad at them. But I think, I think what's really good is, we are human. We're going to make mistakes, and what makes a good player sometimes is being able to come back from those mistakes and not let that mistake overtake you, and not let it
Yeah.
ruin the rest of the match. And um, Manny made a mistake as well. He didn't clear your minions at the end and allowed you to kind of bloodlust and finish him off.
Mhm.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
like being able to maintain your composure. Can you talk a little bit about maybe how you did that during your match when you kind of made a mistake and you were like, what did you do to kind of calm yourself down and to to
So
keep doing the match, keep going forward?
I I usually am just pretty calm. I can bounce back from things. No, it definitely was a mistake because it gave up one of my 2/3 Murlocs. I was thinking, oh, I'll clear off, and then yeah.
Mhm.
Thinking about the second match, one thing I think that one of the reasons why I took some suboptimal lines was I was playing around a rat trap that didn't exist. I think that really hurt me. I was playing around the rat trap for most of
Well,
the
then you activated the rat trap in game one. You like activated at a weird time, but then he decided to not trade anyway, and it fell in your favor.
I
But
guess he forgot you were
yeah,
Murloc Shaman, and Murloc Shaman runs Bloodlust. So.
yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
Manny.
so
That's kind of a jab. I love you,
my
Manny.
thought, my
You're
thoughts
awesome.
with the activating the rat trap in that match was basically I figured the game was going to be over in about 2-3 turns, one way or another. And so he was only going to be able to trade off 2 or 3 minions, and having the rat trap out of the way allowed me more minions on board and gave me the ability to push. Um, yeah, that's my thoughts were playing around the rat trap is going to cost me more than he can trade into minions, and he ended up going face to try to set up the lethal, and I had the lust lethal, so I was happy with that. Yeah,
Yeah,
But I think
absolutely. I mean, go ahead.
I think this match, honestly, and this is why I kind of like this sort of format. The added shielded phase really adds in a next level to this to Hearthstone. And I honestly think that part of the reason why you won the match was because your bans and shields were perfect. I think shielding the priest was the right thing to do. Priest, like I was telling Maedon, while it does have a lower win rate versus the hunter, it can just win games, and it's just a really good deck. And he did not shield his priest; he shielded his hunter, and I think that was a mistake on his end. I think he probably should have shielded his priest because it's just such a good deck. Um,
I'll
and
actually
and
disagree with you on that. I
well,
think his Hunter Shield was fantastic.
and I also think that he didn't bring warrior either, so it kind of adds a little bit of when you bring warrior and priest, oftentimes you got to make a decision on what you're going to ban there. But I think you're shielding your priest was really kind of sort of helps you win the match there, and that it shows that pre-game kind of thought really does matter in this format.
Yeah, I spent a ton of time looking over the bands. Our Discord was very popping today. But I I I really like my shaman, and I figured that shaman slips through the cracks, and so I was like, I want the shaman and the priest to be the two decks I can
Mhm.
play. So um, uh, with his lineup, looking at it, and I figured if I don't shield the priest, there's no way it gets through. He'll just straight up ban it. Um, that being said, so that's why I shielded the priest, and he let my shaman slip through, and the shaman pulled the win against Hunter, which I was really happy with. I thought his Hunter I thought was a really good bring. I felt it had game into all of my decks, and
Mhm.
especially like the warrior, it was pretty favored into, from what I can tell. Um, so I yeah, I think his Hunter Shield was the right call. I think into my lineup, I'm not sure if the Paladin ban was the best. Um, I that Shaman deck is a deck I've been harping on for a while, so I'm a big fan of it, and I think the Shaman deck was the right ban, but though the I could have made a pretty good argument for the Warrior or the Paladin as well. But
Well,
yeah, so
I think his decks play well into your warrior, though. I think
Mhm.
his mech paladin plays very well in the warrior. Highlander hunter does really well versus warrior, and even
Quest Druid as well,
Quest
yeah.
druid as well.
Especially
But
his build, I think had the tools to do it with the I think he had Nomi. I don't remember. I'd
yeah,
have to look
yeah,
back again.
his question had Nomi, Elise, and
Mhm.
Cenarius.
so I think
Yeah,
Um,
so
his lineup kind of targeted warrior, but with this best 2 out of 3, you don't even play it, so
mhm.
it doesn't even
yeah,
matter.
yeah. Yeah, I brought a little of spicy tech in my warrior. It was interesting. I don't think the druid match was as bad as it looks on paper usually, but yeah,
Mhm.
especially when he's trying to target. So, but I thought it went well for me. I was really happy with all my decks. That shaman deck, it it's been doing really well for me. Yeah, uh, when you heard Kel mention I should have taken the out for Holy Wrath, that was against that Shaman deck last week. So yeah, I'm loving the competition in the Teal 4 seeds. It's fantastic in Hero. It's a really
Yeah,
interesting tournament.
absolutely. And a great win for you, man. Congratulations. That's I think well deserved. I think you guys both played well. A couple of misplays here and there, but overall, I think it came down to the right deck brings and playing it well enough that you could solidify that and use those good matchups to your favor.
Yeah, I definitely. It was one of those things where you know what, you make a mistake, you pick up, you carry on, and you figure out what's the best line to give you a shot at winning. Um,
Man, I just
yeah,
realized that my
Hmm.
teammate Kel won and your teammate Pond won tonight, so
There we
uh,
go.
so maybe our
Maybe
casting
we
was
need to
good
do
luck.
this. Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was even a thing when they asked us to do this. So for those of you that are joining us, this was literally like a last minute thing. These Pond and Kale approached us wanting to know if
Hmm.
they could have their matches casted, and I had it on and I said, yeah, sure, we can do it. So So that was really fun.
Guess we should always have our team play matches on Thursday night where we can cast for them.
I know, right?
Yeah, it worked well. I always enjoy playing on stream. It's just a fun environment, and you get to do an interview at the end if you win. So,
Yeah, and then you get to go back and make fun of us casters for getting it wrong or yelling at the screen.
Yeah, you know what? I definitely could have cleaned up my play these games.
Yeah, maybe rewatch that. Tell me how you feel about me afterwards.
No,
I love you, buddy. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
Mydodon's
happy
like,
with the win, and I'm happy that you know you got there, and I think you prepped really well.
Mydodon
Yeah.
just loves
We'll
you.
work on cleaning it
Hey.
up, man. We'll work on cleaning it up. I'm sure I have all my mistakes as well too, so we can watch my
right.
replays later, and we can talk about cleaning up my play as well.
All right, Pond, you're going to
We
be
just-
joining me on Thursday Throwdown next week, and Mydodon will be playing his match, so you
right.
can yell at him.
Well, the funny thing is, I actually play my add-on on Sunday.
Oh.
That's right.
Yeah.
Rip.
So I
Yeah,
can yell at him through my actually I guess I won't be maybe I shouldn't be giving you some tips until after our match.
Yeah, that was the funny thing is we're both prepping for pro, and then it's like, oh yeah, we do have to submit legacy lineups at some point.
Yeah, I haven't even really thought about it yet. I've been too busy with other things, but we'll see. I'm sure it'll be a good match,
Yeah.
man.
All right,
We'll
guys.
keep busy. Thank you, guys. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man, and congrats again.
Hey,
right.
take care, guys.
You too.
Take care.
We'd like to thank you guys for joining us on this spontaneous Thursday Throwdown. I think, Mydon, you had mentioned that this is not going to be a thing that we do every week, but it's something that we can leave the door open in case there's some good matches and we have time. I'm more than willing to opt for a Thursday Throwdown to get some matches on stream. And if you're interested in getting your matches on stream, go ahead and just ask us directly, or there's a sign up sheet. We can work on trying to get that in. Now we might not do it every week, but it never hurts to ask.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if we can't do it, maybe we'll find someone else. So make sure if you are playing Thursday night after Tavern Talk, just let us know. Sign up on that sheet, and we'll see what we can do.
Awesome. And I promise you, Nick, I'm going to clean up my op play. I only made one mistake tonight. Actually, two mistakes. I didn't transition for like 5 minutes, and I went back to the first transition, so it wasn't actually a Pond playing Manny. It was Hockey Boys playing Khell in a Pro Series match. So I gotta clean up my op play. But granted, I'm exhausted, so. Guys.
Yeah, no worries, man. I guess I was the only one to not make mistakes tonight.
The perfect Mydodon. I'm gonna bow down to you. I'm
sure I've made my fair share of mistakes tonight. But I'm glad you guys joined us, and I hope you liked it. And catch us next time. Obviously, check out Tavern Talk every week, and we'll try to do some more of these in the future. And we have 2 matches for tomorrow that I'm going to be casting with Ted. So look forward to those at 8 and 9 p.m. respectively Eastern time. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye-bye.